So I haven't seen you, I think, since, there was several charity events over the years. Of course, back in the day, the Bikers for Babies with the March of Dimes. Did a lot of those we worked together with. And the Officer Falcone Memorial Show back in 2012. Twisted Sister did that show for the slain Officer Falcone. What a night that was.
I remember it well. I remember it really well. But the thing that stands out the most in my mind from that show,
what's that?
Was B.B. Newworth. B.B. Newworth was doing one of her one-woman shows down the block.
Really?
Yeah, and so she came to see Twisted Sister.
Oh, that is wild.
And looking side stage, seeing B.B. Newworth losing her mind. I mean, rocking out. I was like, what parallel universe is this? So that's my Officer Falcone charity show memory. B.B. Newworth rocking outside stage.
That is hilarious. I didn't even know that.
They kind of snuck her in, and I just came off stage, and I expected to get smacked in the face or something. That was a disgrace to music, and she's, oh my God, that was amazing.
She loved it. Oh, you won her over that night.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, before we make the big announcement to we have big news for Q103 listeners here in Albany. But before we do that, I just want to touch on the 40th anniversary of Twisted Sister, the new movie, We Are Effin' Twisted Sister. Talk to us about the documentary film, how that came about, and why we're going out after 40 years.
Well, as far as the doc goes, it came about in the best possible way, and that is somebody outside of our camp, somebody who was not a fan, approached us about doing the movie. He had heard that the band was together for 10 years before the world found out about us, and that only people in the New York area they're aware that Twisted was around for years, but the rest of the world, one day they turned on their TV and there we were singing "We're Not Going to Take It," and they go, "Oh, Motley Crue, Rat, Twisted Sister, here they are." Few knew that we had been together for years and years before any of these bands, and this guy wanted to tell that story. And so the documentary has come out. It's getting really, really well received. It's available on, Amazon and on demand. It's all over the place, and it's great that in our 40th year, in our farewell year, and that's what this year is, that the story that most people don't know about the band, that we didn't jump on the bandwagon, we built the damn bandwagon.
That's right.
There was no Motley Crue or Rat. We were waving that flag before a hair metal. It wasn't even called hair metal.
Exactly.
It was just Twisted Sister, a crazy heavy metal band. So I love that movie's coming out at this time.
Now, are we going to see some U.S. states? I mean, I would love to see you guys do a full-blown U.S. tour, but I don't see that happening.
No, we haven't done touring, and I'm not really about that. I do so many other things, doing radio and television and movies. I do theater. I've sort of branched out, and I no longer have the ability to just say, well, okay, I'm going to put my life on hold and just go out on the road. It's a great thing to do, but you come back and you find that all these things you've developed and worked on have dried up. People don't sit around waiting for you to get back home.
Right.
They say, oh yeah, we're going to hold that role for you on Broadway while you're on tour. No,
nope.
Somebody else takes the job. So the Twisted, the U.S. dates we're playing pretty much festivals, So we'll see if a festival comes about that in the U.S., but it's not going to be any like state by state thing. It'll be a one-off. So that's all. I'm sorry for the hardcore fans, especially in the New York area. I'm sorry that there's not more for you, but that's what this band is.
Is there a possibility of a New York date?
I've heard. There's been talk.
Okay.
Let's just say there's been talk.
Okay, cool. Well, We'll leave it at that. We'll hope that there is a date lined up. Okay, let's go on to the big news. We want to let people know you have had a syndicated show running for, I think you said 19 years now. Love this show, House of Hair. What do you want to let the listeners know, Dee?
I've let you know that House of Hair is coming to town.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be on the station. I mean, I have been doing it 19 years, but when people hear the show, the energy that if you heard show 1 and now I'm approaching show 1,000,
wow.
And you will hear there's no change in my energy. It's because the music, it just fires you up. It's inspiring. It's a soundtrack of our lives, And so it's not like, oh, you're playing the same old song over and over again. No, I'm playing the soundtrack of my damn life over and over again, and it's going to be so great bringing this show to Albany.
Saturday nights on Q103, 10 to midnight. It's going to be House of Hair with Dee Snider, the best hard rock and metal show. I got to say, I love it. Lots of hair metal. I'm a big hair metal guy, and
it's the show is like the best of the 70s, 80s, early 90s hair bands and heavy metal, and we've got some features like the Greasy Roots of Metal, where I get a chance to pay tribute and recognize the band that inspired other bands. And sometimes it's bands like Aerosmith, who's a regular on the House of Hair, but at the same time, it needs to be acknowledged that so many bands wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Aerosmith. But then sometimes it's a band like Hanoi Rocks. And some people out there going, Hanoi who? Well, It wouldn't be a Guns N' Roses if it wasn't for Hanoi Rocks. When I said that Twisted Sister built the bandwagon, actually it was Hanoi Rocks. They weren't a metal band. They were a hard rock glam band out of Sweden. And they were there too in the early days. So this is another very influential band. So a feature like that gets me a chance to feature something that maybe you wouldn't normally hear on this show.
And I just saw Michael Monroe play a club show. What an amazing performer! Had to be one of the best shows I've ever seen. Michael Monroe from Hanoi Rocks.
Yeah, we've gotten to do shows with Michael, and over in Europe, and yeah, he's still like myself. He's like, if you're going to be doing it, don't phone it in. You get up there and you deliver, and if you can't deliver, then just get off the damn stage. There's plenty of young bands ready to take your place.
House of Hair with Dee Snider. That's the big announcement coming to Q103 Albany. We are psyched for it. It's going to be this coming Saturday, April 2nd, 10 to midnight, right here on Q103. Maybe we'll get Steve to add the third hour, Dee, eventually.
You know what? You're not supposed to. Tigman, you're not supposed to make Steve look like a bad guy, but there is a 3-hour show. But I'm sure if the people are loving the show and it's reacting, the third hour is going to be is just a natural fit. It's just more of the metal, as I like to say.
That's right. Well, hey, Dee, always a pleasure. I thank you. I'm glad you're part of the station, and glad to speak with you again. And best of luck with the final tour, the 40th anniversary tour, and let's hope that there's a area date that we can all get to.
Can I do my? I rehearsed the line.
God, yeah, let's hear it.
I want to rock on Q103.
Awesome, perfect. You're the man, Dee. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Pleasure. Take care.